The man accidentally hit his daughter with his car, but he dared not get out. After all, his first love was carrying his child that needed support. So when he divorced his wife, he could not be the one at fault and lose everything. Thus, he floored the accelerator and chose to flee the scene. Little did he know that he would spend the rest of his life in prison. Because the wife he despised was the nation's foremost divorce lawyer. Not only had the woman been undefeated for 10 years, but she had also sent countless men to prison by her own hand. To avoid disturbing her peaceful life, she had kept her identity hidden from the public and even from her husband. After she sent her daughter to the hospital for emergency treatment, and to make the hit-and-run driver pay a heavy price, she immediately contacted her assistant to investigate the matter. The assistant then informed her that the hit-and-run driver was her husband, and that he had also hired a lawyer to file for divorce in order to strip her of everything. The woman could never have imagined that her husband would flee after hitting their daughter. Shortly afterward, the assistant sent her a photo. When she saw the photo, the woman realized that her husband had long been with her best friend. Determined to personally send both of them to prison, the woman decisively had her assistant take on the case. When the undefeated lawyer learned that he had been assigned the case, the man and his first love were overjoyed, believing this would not only rid them of the hit-and-run incident, but also force the wife to lose everything. Little did they know that his hit-and-run would eventually lead to their daughter's death from failed resuscitation. At that moment, all the woman wanted was revenge for her daughter. On the other hand, the man was still somewhat worried that his wife might have seen him. After all, they were so close during the accident. So the first love suggested he make a phone call to test the waters, but he ended up hearing his wife say that their daughter had been in a car accident and died. An hour later, the man arrived at the hospital. To force his wife to lose everything in the divorce, he decided to shift all the blame onto her. Thus, he slapped his wife, accusing her of failing to take care of their daughter. The woman angrily declared that their daughter's death was due to the hit-and-run driver's escape, and that she would surely find the culprit and avenge her daughter. The man, however, scoffed, believing that his wife, as a mere housewife, could never possibly identify the culprit, and insisted that everything was her fault. The woman whispered in his ear that she indeed had made mistakes, but that she would send the culprit to prison before she died. At that moment, the first love called. So the man falsely claimed that he had urgent business at the company, and chose not to see his daughter for one final time, hurriedly running out. When the first love learned that the man had pinned all the blame on his wife, she believed they could easily evade suspicion for the hit-and-run, and force the woman to lose everything. To celebrate the impending good times, the two decided to go to a hotel for a celebration, and the woman, determined to find evidence of her husband's betrayal, took a taxi to follow their car. Soon, the woman discovered that the two had arrived at a hotel. After they left, she, using her identity as the man's wife, investigated and found that her husband's room was 5088. Her next step was to expose their scandal, so she immediately called her assistant, ordering that within 10 minutes all mainstream media be at the Y-Way Hotel entrance. Then she called the police to report prostitution. Eventually, the man was arrested by the police. Reporters seized the opportunity and hyped the story extensively.